It's all covered in today's China Truths.
Are Shanghai's real estate giants fleeing en masse? Explosive rumors claim Beike and Lianjia have axed nearly 10,000 employees, sparking total panic. Hey Shanghai folks, better check if the agency downstairs is still alive. Word is the industry is facing a mass exodus. Beike and Lianjia are slashing jobs, shuttering branches, and chaos is spreading online. Nearly 10,000 layoffs in Shanghai alone, like cutting off limbs just to survive. Absolutely insane. Meanwhile, in Beijing, the property market imploded overnight. Home prices crashed by 80%, the steepest plunge in the nation. Today, we're heading into the streets of Shanghai and Beijing to see the misery of families trapped in worthless homes, or losing them altogether. Let's start with Shanghai. The Beike and Lianjia store has officially shut its doors. Business has been brutal this year. Look around. So many Lianjia stores have gone bankrupt. And once they collapse, the signs come down instantly. It's shockingly fast. The state of real estate agencies today. Houses can't sell, agents are vanishing, and across industries, shops are closing earlier than ever. A place I've been running for over a year is shutting down today. I believe many more agencies will follow in September. On Puiteng Road, another agency has witnessed the fall of 3 major players. This store just closed this afternoon. It opened back in 2017. I was here on day 1, and now it's gone. Yiju, which opened in 2018, is also gone. Next door, Zhongyuan left earlier, and now even Lianjia is gone. Waiwoja on the corner shut down too. That's 3 giants gone. The intermediary business is collapsing. The listed company Waiwoja has folded. Let me show you a shop opposite Wanda Group. 150 square meters, 3 floors. Come take a look. As China's real estate crashes to rock bottom, the agency industry is being rocked by a major earthquake. Beike and Lianjia, the giants of the sector, are slashing stores and firing workers at breakneck speed. In just one Shanghai community, 3 stores closed in a single week. Rumors say nearly 10,000 employees have been laid off in Shanghai alone. Though unconfirmed, the news aligns with what everyone already feels in the market. So what's left of this business? Worse than beasts of burden. Look at these agents, 10 p.m. and they're still working, live streaming like crazy. This is involution, pure and brutal, one after another, lined up at the door. The situation is heartbreaking. Some Beike agents are walking away in despair. We can't survive anymore. After 7 years, it's over. We're moving on. Clients trusted us, but this market has crushed us. Oppression, endless pressure. How can anyone survive? Some analysts point out that in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, just a few giants control over 80% of the agency market. Their survival is tied directly to transaction volume. But in Shanghai, secondary housing sales have dried up, and prices keep tumbling. Some say they've hit a knee-breaking point. Homeowners should brace for steep losses. If you manage to sell, consider yourself lucky. But with liquidity gone, disaster is inevitable. Remember, 70% of China's wealth is locked in real estate. Buying a home in Shanghai has become a bloodbath. Take that unit upstairs on the 4th floor. It says it all. A 3-bedroom once worth over 3 million yuan is now barely over 2 million. It takes years to earn 1.5 million, but losing it, just 15 days. Late last month, my client wanted this place. I told him to wait. Prices were still falling, but he rushed in, booked it right away. Now, it's gone. Many buyers can't survive and are cutting off loan payments. Their lives shattered the moment they sign. I stopped paying. My house cost 4.3 million. Now it's worth just 2 million. People are asking, will Shanghai housing really be cut in half? One blogger confessed he's still unemployed, while his home crashed from 4.3 million to 2 million. A 50% wipeout, 2.3 million evaporated. Yet his 2.8 million bank loan remains. Even if he sells, he's still short 800,000. He said his 1.3 million down payment was gone, years of repayments wasted. In despair, he handed the house back to the bank, but the court ruled he still owed another 1.3 million, plus lawsuits, penalties, and fees. Blacklisted, his record ruined, he sighed. From the moment we bought this house, Our lives were destroyed. Across China, homes can't be sold. The middle class is in a desperate fight for survival. They're all rushing to sell, desperate to cash out. Prices keep collapsing. Every seller undercuts the last. Buyers aren't stupid. Seeing the panic, who dares to step in now? In the end, everyone is just waiting for the bottom. And now let's head to Beijing. Just how bad is the housing crisis there? I cried my eyes out after buying my home. My mortgage is over 3,700 yuan a month, and I've been paying for 5 years. Yet I still owe 640,000 yuan, while my house is now worth just 540,000. My loan is more expensive than my house. Every single day I'm just working for the bank. Since buying the house, I've never eaten out. Breakfast is just a single egg, cheap and filling. I don't dare buy anything else, afraid I won't have enough left to cover the mortgage. They say buying a house means a better life and happiness. But why don't I feel any happiness at all? Beijing's property market is collapsing at record speed. Prices once sky-high inside the Fourth Ring Road have dropped to 20,000 yuan per square meter. Beyond the Fifth Ring, the plunge is even steeper. Some communities have seen prices slashed in half. Countless vacant homes remain unsold, and no one knows where the bottom is. One netizen revealed, "This neighborhood's drop is the sharpest in Beijing. From over 20,000 yuan per square meter at its peak, now it's just 6,000, a crash of 80%. An 85 square meter two-bedroom can be had for just 80,000 yuan basement and appliances included." Another asked, "Without a Beijing hukou, why spend 4.8 million to settle here? For ordinary graduates like us, a hukou is out of reach. We need residency points or talent recruitment, and we don't qualify. But going home means lower salaries, just 3,000 to 4,000 yuan, and fewer opportunities. Now that we have a child, we want stability. We don't want to rent forever and keep moving." The blogger explained their child starts elementary school in 2 years. To enroll, they need property in the district or social security contributions. Her husband pays into Haidian district, but without a home there, they'd need to rent at 10,000 won a month just for a school spot. Unaffordable. So in May, after 10 years in Beijing, they finally spent 4.8 million on their own home. Real estate, once China's growth engine, is now in unprecedented crisis. As soon as Beijing lifted restrictions in some districts, panic selling erupted. Prices outside the Fifth Ring, in areas like Huilongguan, Changping, and Shunyi, have fallen by as much as 50%. In the suburbs, it's even worse, with prices slashed to a fraction of their former value. One blogger bought a second-hand home in Beijing for 2.3 million and shared the tour. Step in and you'll see the living room, about 10 square meters. The sofas and TV were left by the landlord. Next, the master bedroom, big and spacious, with a bed and cabinet left behind. This is typical of older homes. Beijing's housing prices are now falling faster than anywhere else in China. "This isn't the first time," the blogger said. "Even today, I had to share the latest data from 70 cities. Beijing's secondhand housing price index is at 98.8, the lowest nationwide. Once again, Beijing is at the bottom." Here's the shocker. 90 million homes in China, 95% of them sitting empty. Sounds unbelievable, right? Sure, that number might be hyped up, but it shines a spotlight on a disaster that is all too real. China is drowning in ghost cities, millions of apartments standing lifeless, and endless rows of skyscrapers haunting the horizon. This isn't just about housing. It's a ticking social, economic, and even environmental time bomb that could shake families, banks, and the global economy. Stick with me, because we're about to dig into just how deep this hole goes and what might erupt next. The real face of China's ghost cities. The official count already shows 7.2 million new apartments with no buyers, but experts warn the actual number of vacant homes may be closer to 65 to 90 million. That's enough to shelter an entire country like Germany. And these aren't just scattered empty buildings, they're whole districts. Imagine brand new highways, glowing neon malls, and high-rise skylines built for millions, but with only silence. In Tianducheng near Hangzhou, a near-perfect copy of Paris stands eerily still, complete with its own Eiffel Tower. In Inner Mongolia's Ordos, The Kangbashi district was built to house 1 million people, but barely tens of thousands live there. Stadiums, libraries, and government buildings rise proudly and stand empty. What you're seeing is not quirky architecture. It's the fallout of a system addicted to overbuilding. Local officials, desperate to inflate GDP, sold land like candy. Developers, armed with cheap loans, rushed to build faster than anyone could buy. The cost? Wasted trillions in steel, concrete, and public funds. Every dark window isn't just an empty room, it's a broken promise. And behind these lifeless skylines lies a storm waiting to break. So how did China end up building cities no one lives in? The roots run deep. For decades, local governments relied on selling land rights to fill their budgets. It became the go-to trick for showing economic growth. Developers thrived not because people needed homes, but because speculation was irresistible. Borrow big, build fast, sell high. That was the game. But by the late 2010s, the debt piles grew monstrous. In 2020, Beijing hit the brakes with the 3 red lines policy, cutting developers off from easy loans. Overnight, giants like Evergrande and Country Garden began to unravel, leaving behind half-built towers and furious buyers. But money isn't the only problem. China is aging fast, birth rates are collapsing, and young people facing low wages and job insecurity are avoiding homeownership altogether. The cultural obsession with buying property is fading. Just when supply hit historic highs, demand collapsed. Developers were left with entire forests of unsold towers, while more and more families chose to rent or stay with parents. This isn't just a housing issue, it's the engine of China's growth stalling out, suffocated by debt, demographics, and decades of warped incentives. The fallout nobody can escape. This crisis isn't just about buildings, it's about people. Millions who bought homes at sky-high prices now find themselves trapped. They took out 30-year mortgages, expecting their apartments to rise in value. Instead, they're watching their wealth evaporate. In cities like Zhengzhou and Xi'an, apartments once worth 1 million yuan now sell for half that. Families owe more than their homes are worth, and there's no easy way out. The collapse has rippled outward, gutting industries that fed off the housing boom. Real estate touches over 60 different sectors, from cement and glass to home appliances and banking. In 2024 alone, hundreds of suppliers went bankrupt, and waves of layoffs hit construction workers, decorators, and furniture makers. Banks are now staring at massive risks. More than 70% of collateral in China's loan system is tied to property. As values plunge, the stability of the entire financial system wobbles. Credit is tightening, and small businesses are suffocating. The social cost is even more devastating. Jobless migrants are leaving the cities in droves, heading back to villages. Young professionals are giving up on the dream of urban success. Middle-class confidence is collapsing. What we're witnessing isn't just a real estate slowdown. It's a breakdown of trust, livelihoods, and the social contract that held the country together. Ghost cities may look like silent concrete shells, but they're far from dormant. Behind those dark windows, electricity is still flowing, elevators still humming, and water systems still running, all without a single family inside. The numbers are staggering. Empty apartments across China pump out an estimated 55 million tons of carbon dioxide every year. That's nearly 7% of the entire country's residential emissions, pollution on the scale of whole provinces generated by homes no one even lives in. Why does this happen? It's baked into the system. Developers designed new districts to show off political ambition and modern progress, installing full lighting, heating, and water pressure from day one. The hope was that people would move in, but when the crowds never came, the infrastructure stayed alive anyway, devouring power and wasting resources with zero return. This invisible pollution is perhaps the most dangerous kind, hidden, unspoken, but massive. Unlike smoggy highways or smoking factories, you won't see it, but it's there, silently undermining China's climate pledges to peak emissions by 2030 and hit carbon neutrality by 2060. Without tackling these idle towers, every promise of sustainability risked becoming nothing more than words.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.